Well, hello everyone. My name is Zachary O'Shea, and this is Box of Teeth. I've got another ghost story and the accompanying D&D monster ready for you right now, so let's have a listen. First off, again, I am recovering from a Christmas cold, so if I sound a little bit nasal or a little bit out of breath, that is why. But I believe that you are all here for a Dungeons & Dragons ghost, so let's go ahead and talk about the Fettered Geist. The thing about the Fettered Geist you need to understand is he's motivated by a sense of justice from a bygone age. Whatever kingdom swallowed them in those chains is long since dust and rumor, but he remains. Don't know if he was a criminal or a judge. It's hard to tell really, but one might ask what sort of people binds their arbiters in chains like that. I swear some of them look like they're threaded through his body. Anyway, whatever rules this spook follows feel pretty damn capricious to us modern folk, but he still insists on punishing those that ain't worthy. Worst thing is, once he tugs a poor sod into his realm, everyone else gets to see the victim silently scream as they're beaten and strangled to death. Then, plop, their broken body is dumped back into the real world. If you ask me, it's high time someone passes judgment on that ghost and lay him to rest for good. Of course, trying to do so is probably a capital crime in the Fettered Geist's eyes. Most things are, truthfully. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the Fettered Geist statistics for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. It is a challenge rating 7 lawful evil ghost because it has its own rules that it follows, even if other people are oblivious to what those are unless they maybe make a hard history check. Like any ghost, it does have a range of damage resistances, damage immunities, and condition immunities, as well as ethereal sight, etherealness, and incorporeal movement. It does have multi-attack, where it attacks with chains that do bashing damage, necrotic damage, and grapple a target. If someone is grappled by these chains, then they have to make a save, or they can be pulled into the ethereal plane, where the ghost will follow them and proceed to attack them 1v1, while everyone else still gets to watch because they still show up on the material plane, and there's not a whole lot that you can do about that, unless you can get to the ethereal plane as well. That poor creature gets to repeat the save every turn, with returning to the material plane on success. And lastly, as it is a ghost with chains, it does have rattle, so it can rattle said chains and frighten the creatures around it if they don't succeed on a save. Pretty simple, really, but also pretty terrifying to have to go up against. Now, of course, you can find the Feathered Geist along with dozens of other ghosts and hundreds of other horror-themed monsters for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, all perfectly free at boxofteeth.blogspot.com. If you're more interested in the non-Dungeons & Dragons content that I have, or the horror fiction that I write, that, as well as you always know, includes grease paint right there, you can always go to www.zacharyoshea.com. Sorry about the squeaky chair, it's almost as bad as my nose right now. I hope you all have a great rest of the day ahead of you. It's definitely a nice new year despite the winter weather, and take care, everybody.